Hi folks, I'm gonna demo you how to download data from ServiceNow through Alteryx. So let's get started. So in this demo, I'm gonna demo you how to download data from ServiceNow to Alteryx using ServiceNow download tool, how to install it, and what are the requirements to use this tool, and how do you load the data from ServiceNow through Alteryx. How can you actually use this tool to filter the data as well as download only what is required, and you can you can use this tool to download all the changes or incremental data by scheduling this workflow on a daily basis. So let's get started. So if you are downloading this tool, that means that you might already know what ServiceNow is. So this is how the ServiceNow looks like on the UI. So I have my instance, which is my developer instance, which is DEV49822. So this is my account that you see here. So and I'm gonna demo a table called incidents and how to download instance data through Alteryx connector. So in order to download the connector, you can go to gallery.alteryx.com and search for ServiceNow. You should be able to navigate and get into this URL. So let me show you that. So if you can go to ServiceNow and download, type ServiceNow. So this is the tool that you can run it and download the tool, which will give you an YXI file. So once you downloaded the YXI file, you can install using your Alteryx Designer. So open the YXI file in Alteryx Designer, it will install the tool for you. So what is required in order to use this tool? Right? So you have this ServiceNow account, which can be your company account or your developer account, and your ServiceNow instance username, your ServiceNow instance password. So all the help document in the connector will provide you all the required information, what type of access is required to get the data downloaded through Alteryx. So now let's go into the tool and see how can we load instant data and download the data through Alteryx. I have my tool here. If you go in after you install it, you can see the tool in the ServiceNow. You can see the tool ServiceNow download in the connector section of the Alteryx Designer. So once you drag the tool into the workspace, you can actually see the configuration, what is required to configure the tool. So here in this case, as I showed you earlier, my instance is dev49222. So you don't have to put whole URL called servicenow.com or https servicenow.com. So this will only be required to put the instance name or instance ID, and my username here in this case it's admin, and my password. And in this demo, I'm going to show you how to download incident table. And filters are not mandatory. It's up to you if you want to download the data with some filters, like if you want to get only the tickets that are closed, or if the tickets are resolved, or if the tickets are active, you can actually use this filter section here, but this is not mandatory, and this filter section will allow you to use multiple filters at the same time. You can refer to ServiceNow API documentation for more information. And this is the field where you can actually upload, get the data from ServiceNow based on a parameter called sysupdated on, where you can get the data with a particular date. With a particular date, all the records will be greater than that date. We will show you. I'll show you this in the next couple of minutes how to use this. But let's get started without any filters and download the data. So once you configure this tool, you should be if you run it, you will be seeing the data. So the tool already downloaded the total number of records in my ServiceNow instance. So let's go back to my ServiceNow and see how many total incidents I have. So if you see here, I have total of 69 incidents, but your company might have more than 1,000 or even a million incidents in your case. So let's go back to Alteryx. So let's see. Now I have the data which I downloaded. Now I want to load into my Postgres instance where I want to create a table and load the data into it. So I go back. So now let's load into my Postgres database. So what I'm trying to do is load into my Postgres. I'm configuring my connection here. So I'm trying to load my data into the database called snow test and the schema name snow and the table name called incident1, because I already have a table name called incident and I don't want to override it. So this is my initial load where I'm loading everything. So I will go ahead and run it. As my data source is configured now to output this to my Postgres database and load the data into database. So here my table doesn't exist, so I'm gonna create my table. So my records are loaded into a Snowflake ServiceNow Postgres database. So let's check the total number of records in the database. I have the table called incident1. And let's check the total number of records. So we have 69 records. So let's go back and update few records in ServiceNow and get the latest updated records. So meanwhile, before I go there, I want to show you there is a column called sys updated. There's a column called sys updated on, which will give every record in ServiceNow. If it is created, it will have a sys created on, and also it will have a sys updated on. Every record that gets changed in ServiceNow will have this updated timestamp whenever the record was updated. So based on this timestamp, based on this sys updated on column, we are gonna perform all the incremental updates going further. So initially my table is loaded and now I have 69 total records in this table. So let's go back and create a new incident in ServiceNow. I'm creating a new incident with this number called INC00100005. I'm just copying it to query it back. And let's update the record. So let's update with some information. So the caller is someone ABC, and let's submit it. So now if you see, I have total of 70 records. So now let's go and query the records and get only that one record. So to do that, if I go back to my table, let's get the maximum updated time. My table name is changed to instant. Upload this. So I'm gonna update this and come back. So based on the earlier discussion, this is the maximum record for my sys updated on, which means like all the records up to this date are in my database now. So copy this field, copy this query. So let's get data which is updated after that date, which because I already updated one record, we should pull now. So let's get that service now tool. Before that, let's get our input data. So my data is already in here. So let me put my SQL. So now I'll get the maximum of sys updated on. So let's pass this to the ServiceNow tool that we were using earlier. So now update the instance information. So my instance ID is therefore 822. And I'm trying to load my instant table. And here now we have to select this field that we are connecting. So in this output, I'm getting one field called sys updated on. Now I'm trying to connect to this data and get that records that are already in the database, but I want to get all the records that were created after the date. So now if you see the result, there should be one record that we recently created. So the number should match to the previous. So INC 00100005 is the one that I created earlier. So now let's go and do one more thing. So let's close one more record which is active. So the status of this is new. So let's say it is closed. So I'm updating one more record and resolving it. So now this updated on timestamp on that particular record might have been changed. So now we have two records here, which is one is a new record, other one is a resolved record. So I have my changes now. I can pull it and load into my database. So earlier I was using the same table called instant1. We will use the same table and now load the updated data as well as new inserted data into the same table. So in order to do that, I'm going to copy the connection from earlier and change some configuration here. Paste. So I'm going to use the same table, but at this time I'm going to do insert new else update. So I'll be selecting update insert if new, and I'll leave everything default. Now if I run it, I should have two more records in there. So one more thing is, because we are loading into a relational database and we are trying to do an update, we need a primary key on the database table. So now I added a primary key called primary key for a column called number into the table instant one. So let's go back and refresh. So now we should be having one constraint called instant one primary key. So now let's go back to our Alteryx and reload the data. So my workflow is succeeded now. And then I have two records that were written into my database. So let's go back to the query and now run the total count. Should be 71 now. 70, yeah, because earlier it was 69. I updated record as well as I created new record. So this is how you do the daily updates. Initially, you will be creating the table with the Alteryx, because the columns in the would be different for every snowflake table. So you'll be creating it for the first time with the incremental load, and then you'll be creating a key, which should be your primary key on the database. And then also you can later modify the table structure depending upon how you want to catalog it or how you want to model your data, because all these are mostly can be relatable with the primary key and foreign keys. So as you saw in the demo, I think it will help you. Also, I want to show you one more last thing. Here you can actually get the data and filter the data to get only based on the queries. So let's delete this, and I want to get the data which is, so let's go to our first example here for the full load and delete this, and I'll show you how to query or put this data. So I have to get all the records that are resolved. So which would be the filter in API would be state is equal to 6. So let's get the tickets that are resolved, which we should have about 4 of them. So 4 records which where the status is resolved. So this is how you can actually customize your downloads for ServiceNow through Alteryx. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Bye.